Lisa, that's a look of anxious anticipation as we begin our next podcast.
Yes, biting my nails.
No, I
hope I don't get too nervous.
I thought it was really good. So I'm Deacon Dave.
I'm Layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and Layperson Lisa show. Welcome back, everybody. We're on to Psalm 86, but don't forget to get
Silence in a Year.
Yes,
starting January 1st.
So order your book by Cardinal Sarah, The Power of Silence.
Wouldn't that be so super cool if he goes to the number 1 spot because of your podcast for his book that's been out for a few years?
Yeah, I don't think he has to worry about that happening.
No, that'd be a good thing for him. Book sales off the charts because of your podcast.
You mean because of your podcast? Of the 100 listeners that we have?
It's going to grow exponentially.
You never know.
Okay, so Times Square, when, I know you don't want me to mention his name, but when a certain priest had Bible in the Year, it became the #1 podcast in America, and they made a big to-do in Times Square. That's where I see Silence in a Year coming.
So why don't we move on to Psalm 86, Lisa? Back to reality.
Prophetic words.
I hope they are prophetic words for the sake of, of God's kingdom.
Yes. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah. A prayer of David. Incline your ear, Lord, and answer me, for I am poor and oppressed. Preserve my life, for I am devoted. Save your servant who trusts in you. You are my God. Be gracious to me, Lord. To you I call all the day. Gladden the soul of your servant. To you, Lord, I lift up my soul. Lord, you are good and forgiving, most merciful to all who call on you. Lord, hear my prayer. Listen to my cry for help. On the day of my distress, I call to you, for you will answer me. None among the gods can equal you, O Lord, nor can their deeds compare to yours. All the nations you have made shall come to bow before you, Lord, and give honor to your name. For you are great and do wondrous deeds, and you alone are God. Teach me, Lord, your way, that I may walk in your truth, single-hearted and revering your name. I will praise you with all my heart. Glorify your name forever, Lord, my God. Your mercy to me is great. You have rescued me from the depths of Sheol. O God, the arrogant have risen against me. A ruthless band has sought my life, and they pay no heed. But you, Lord, are a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in mercy and truth. Turn to me, be gracious to me. Give your strength to your servant. Save the son of your handmaid. Give me a sign of your favor. Make my enemies see to their confusion that you, Lord, help and comfort me.
So, Lisa, thank you. Beautifully proclaimed. And I think what really jumped out at me were 2 words.
Okay.
Devoted.
Yes, that was one of my words.
And single-hearted.
Oh, okay. Mine was different. My other word was
What was your other word?
Gracious.
Gracious. Well, I think in order to be devoted to something, right, you need to be single-hearted. That's the main thing that your heart is focused on. So to you, what does it mean to be devoted in our faith?
Just to kind of go all in, you could say. Yeah, keep God at #1 and revolve everything around him.
Yeah, and there's a great thing we do in Cursillo, right, where we actually take we take like a big rock, some smaller rocks, and some sand.
Oh, well, and then, we don't always do this.
Yes, and some water. And then they tell people to put them
great,
in, and everything should fit in the jar.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? If you don't put the big rock in first, everything else is not going to fit.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you put all the small, lesser important things in your life in first, then there's not enough room for God. But amazingly enough, if you put God first, if you're devoted to God first in a single heart, then all of the other things
fall into place.
They all fall into place. And we were talking about this with the trust retreat that's coming up with the women.
Okay.
How it's amazing that you don't think you have enough time to do all of the things you have to do. But when you put God first in everything you do, it seems like you have more time to do things. Mm-hmm. So why did you pick the word gracious?
First of all, I think it was mentioned several times, if I remember correctly. And it's just like being thankful. Isn't that what gracious is, or no?
Yeah, and I think so. As soon as you said that, the first thing that jumped to my mind is that we should be thankful no matter what's going on.
Is that the right meaning, though?
But I think to be gracious is to be appreciative of something, and I think we should be appreciative and gracious. God has been very gracious to us.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think being appreciative of that, even when things aren't going well, Lisa.
Yeah. And that's the challenge. That's the big challenge.
It is a big challenge. And I think part of that is we should get in the habit of being gracious and praising God when everything is going well, because sometimes we don't even do that.
Right.
Right. And then when things go bad, we're like, okay, well, where are you, God?
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes I think God goes, well, where were you? Where were you when things are going well?
Yeah.
So I think it's important for us to be thankful all the time. So I think maybe are there areas in your life where you're not being thankful right now? Because there is some difficulty. I would encourage you, and I hope Lisa would agree, to give the Lord thanks and praise even in the storms, because he's present and he's seeking even through those difficulties to draw us into a more deeper relationship with him.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Lisa?
No.
I'm Deacon Dave.
I'm Layperson Lisa.
See you next time.
Bye.